Hello everyone and welcome to the Confident English Learner. And today I'd like to talk to you about the second conditional. So we've talked about the zero conditional for science and facts. We've talked about the first conditional for real possibility in the future. And today we'll talk about the second conditional for things that are not real. And the way we say this in English is hypothetical. Hypothetical. It means that they are imagined and very unlikely. So, the way we structure this is we use if plus the past simple. Even though we're using the past, we're not talking about the past, we're talking about the imagination. So sometimes that's a little bit confusing, but it's basically to remember that the past simple in the conditional, the first conditional, second conditional, is about the imagination. Okay, so we use if plus the past simple plus, in the second clause, would, wouldn't, should, shouldn't, could, couldn't, might, might not, etc. So again, the different modal verbs that we can use. So for example, for a second conditional, I might say, if I were rich, have lots of money, I would buy a house in Hampstead. Hampstead is a very nice part of London, very expensive place in London. So here you can see that the sentence, if I were rich, generally in imagination we use were rather than was. That's generally what we do. It's not wrong to say was, but usually we say were. I would, here, the contraction is I'd. It would be the same she'd, he'd, they'd. We can make the contraction with the D, and it means would in this sentence. So I would buy a house in Hampstead. So this is an imagination. This is a hypothetical situation, and the second conditional helps me to express that. Another example, if I could go on holiday this year, seems unlikely with COVID, I would go to New York, for example. So you take a situation that is not really possible and you imagine how it could be or would be or should be in the second clause. So have a go with the second conditional.